We're joined by child psychologist Kimberley O'Brien, also Fiona Mother and Baby magazine, good morning ladies, and also mum of two, Amelia Barnett, and her fabulous, gorgeous little 4-year-old son, Jacob. Good morning, Amelia. Hello, Jacob. How are you? How are you? Good. Good. Well, we are talking about imaginary friends this morning, so Kimberley, give us some background here.
Well, it's a really good thing. Imaginary friends are a great thing because they show that kids are creative and imaginative, and they usually occur between the ages of 3 and at 7 years they tend to disappear when kids go to school.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the magazine, do you get a lot of input or questions and response about imaginary friends from your readers?
We do actually. On our website we get a lot of mums writing in because they're seeking reassurance from other mums. You know, there's not masses of information out there, so they can get sort of the wrong idea. So they talk about it a lot actually on our forums about, yeah, my child's got an imaginary friend, what does this mean? You know, does it mean that I'm not, you know, he's lonely or whatever? And they reassure each other. So, you know, and we sort of point them towards different, you know, different areas to get information.
Mm-hmm. Amelia, how long has Jacob had an imaginary friend?
Probably about a year, I'd say now.
Mm-hmm. How old is he?
He's 4.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Jacob, tell me about your friend. What's his name?
Jacob.
What's your friend's name?
Lewis.
Jackal.
Jacob.
Jackal.
And he plays football.
Wow.
But I tackled with a bulldozer and they did it worst.
Oh. So, are you a better footballer than your friend Jackal? Is Jackal with us today? No. Where's Jackal?
He's at work.
Oh, okay. What does Jackal do at work?
He does he makes envelopes.
He makes envelopes, does he?
Makes envelopes. That's very, very good.
Dirty houses.
When we hear Jacob talking about his mate, who's a footballer and he goes to work and makes envelopes, what's your view as a psychologist?
I think it's really positive because it means that Jacob's having a relationship with someone. So, you know, sometimes kids are forming relationships through friendships, but sometimes with only children they'll start to form those relationships with imaginary friends.
So this is a positive thing. Definitely. There was a movie called Drop Dead Fred, and let's have a look at what goes on in this.
The only thing that can save me is a mud pie. Yeah! Come on! Here it comes. Take the top off. There it comes. Oh. Orange juice. Beautiful. That's lovely.
It's so fun.
Tea. Lots.
Sugar?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Clearly, that imaginary friend is very, very messy.
Yes.
Were you ever worried?
Actually, no, I don't think I was ever worried, basically because of the fact that he's so interesting, and I find, as a mother, I find it fascinating to listen to some of the stories and things that he actually comes up with and invents and talks about. I find it very interesting to listen to him. And as a 4-year-old, I think it's very clever.
Indeed.
So I kind of, no, I don't think I was ever worried. I think I...
What are some of the examples, Fiona, of readers when they've contacted you?
Yeah, well, I've got a couple because just recently there was a bit of debate on our website. So one of the women wrote in and said she had a son called David who had an imaginary friend, he was about 3, called Oggy. And Oggy keeps dying but then reappearing. And at the moment he's left again, but he's on a spaceship in outer space and then no one's sure when he's coming back. And he also had another imaginary friend called Anne who lived in his tummy, and that was at the same time that his mum was pregnant. Okay. So he kept waiting for Anne to come out and thought he might need to go to hospital. But and there's another one we got from Sarah, and her daughter Caitlin was about 2. She had 2 imaginary friends: Belinda, who was blue and a bit freaky, and Noni. And apparently they would come and have dinner with them, or they'd dance, and yeah. So yeah, that was just in the last week we've had those 2 responses.
So with those examples, Kimberley.
Yes.
What do you read into that? In case there's anybody, you know, viewing that says, oh, that's similar to mine. So what...
I would say for parents to play along and to sort of set a place at the table for the imaginary friend, or to make them a snack, as Jacob says he sometimes needs for Jackal as well. So it's good for parents to play along because that's supporting that creativity in the child.
And you clearly do that, Amelia.
I do. I do support him in this. I think that I think it's good for him. Like, even though he has a younger brother, it's still good for Jacob to go out there, and I sometimes listen to him, you know, solving problems, you know.
You find him just very entertaining, don't you?
I do. I find him very entertaining.
Fiona, is there ever a moment where it does cross the line?
Fiona, Kimberley, yeah,
sorry, Kimberley.
That's okay. Yeah. I guess it can cross the line if kids start to blame the imaginary friend for something they've done. So they've made a huge mess, and then it was Jackal that made the mess, and they refused to clean it up. So.
Oh, that does. We got some. We've got Twitter followers who have had imaginary friends. I love this. Red Grey said, "I had an imaginary husband when I was a little girl. His name was Mr. Vishgront. I used to take him on shopping trips around the house. He had a moustache, and I have no idea where he came from." What do you say to Red Grey? Obviously an adult now.
Yeah, very imaginative. I say it's a great thing, definitely.
And my imaginary friend from Sheppo says was Dee Dee. She was my bestest until kindergarten at least. Even when she wanted to go to the treehouse, Mum didn't want me to go down and be alone, but I told her it was okay because Dee Dee was with me.
Yes, yes.
So they're all good things.
Good things, and we have a fact sheet on our website at childpsychologist.com.au as well as your website. We also have a clinic called the Quirky Kid Clinic, so kids come along with lots of different issues, but imaginary friends is actually a really positive issue. It's nothing to be worried about for parents. So
well, as Kimberley said, all that's posted on the website if you go there. Fiona, thank you for your time. Good morning, Kimberley.
Thank you.
And Jacob, what time are you meeting up with the Jackal?
60.
60, well, that's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? Very good. Will you say hi to the Jackal for us? My name's Kerry Anne. You just say Kerry Anne says hi, OK? Good morning, Amelia.
Thank you very much.
OK, we've got more coming up. Here's a very quick and easy way to prepare healthy meals.
Oh, I wish you could smell this delicious food that James has made right here.